4, 8, doomed. 15, 16, dead and doomed. At the beginning of Season 2, Kate, Locke, and Jack go down into the hatch and investigate and explore what's down there. They run into Desmond. This station was previously a Dharma Initiative station. Beep, 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 beep. They also discover the button on the computer, and they have to type in the numbers every 108 minutes, or the island's gonna explode or something. Desmond tells Locke about an orientation film, and him and Jack go and watch it to discover what's going on down there. Michael goes looking for Walt. Shannon then thinks that she sees a taller ghost Walt. We're then introduced to the tailies, or the people who were in the tail section of Flight 815. When it broke apart, the tail landed on a different part of the island. There are several other survivors. Ana Lucia was one of these people. She was a cop before she was on the island, so she kind of takes charge of that group. Mr. Echo was a drug lord, as well as just being kind of a general badass. The tailies are trying to meet up with the rest of the people who survived. And while they're out in the dark, rainy jungle, Ana Lucia mistakes Shannon for one of the others and shoots her. The computer down on the hatch then tells Mr. Echo and Locke not to communicate with the outside world. Charlie eventually takes Mr. Echo to the plane where Boone died, because that was actually a plane that his brother had got on right after being shot, in which they were smuggling drugs from Mr. Echo. Mr. Echo's brother was a priest. Charlie finds out that there's heroin in these little lady statues that they were smuggling. He struggles, and Claire's disappointed. Later on, Charlie goes a little bit crazy, trying to protect Aaron, Claire's baby. Russo comes back into the picture with some information about someone that she's caught in one of her traps. She swears that this person is one of them. He says his name's Henry Gale and he's from Minnesota. Saeed has to torture him. Henry Gale tells him he crashed on the island on a balloon with his wife. Saeed and Ana Lucia go out and look for the balloon and find it, but they're not convinced, so they dig up the grave. Meanwhile, down on the hatch, there's a lockdown. Locke is pinned underneath one of the blast doors and is exposed to a gigantic map of the island and all of the Dharma stations. There's some negotiations between the others and the Losties about Henry Gale and Walt. Then Michael sneaks back in, goes down into the hatch, and shoots Ana Lucia and Libby. He also then shot himself to make it look like it was an escape attempt by Henry Gale. Here and there, every once in a while, they find another one of these Dharma stations on the island. At the end of the season, Desmond shows up again, and eventually figures out that it was him not pushing the button that caused Oceanic Flight 815 to crash. Season ends when Michael takes Jack, Kate, Sawyer, and Hurley off to go to the others' camp to find Walt and bring him back. Of course, this was all a trap. And at the end, Henry Gale lets Michael and Walt take the others' boat and leave the island, while Kate, Jack, Sawyer, and Hurley sit there tied up, watching. The end!